Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Have You Heard? And today we're going to listen to a song from quite possibly one of the most beautiful albums ever made. It is, let's get this right, oh dear, it's David Crosby's If I Could Only Remember My Name, released in February of 1971. We're going to be listening to the track Laughing, which quite possibly is the highlight of the album. But there are so many highlights. It is such a wonderful, beautiful, spooky at the end kind of album. But I would urge anyone who's never heard it to listen to it immediately. And if you haven't heard it, you're going to hear a track now. And if you have heard it, you know how wonderful it is anyway. I suppose this is carrying on a little theme that we've got going here now, looking at the solo lives or the early lives of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. We did a Buffalo Springfield last week. We did the Hollies, Graham Nash's Hollies. We did a song from them. A little bit earlier, I did a Neil Young song from After the Gold Rush as well. And so here's David's first solo album, released after Deja Vu, I'm pretty certain. And there's a big story about it. We'll talk about that afterwards. Let's listen to the music first of all, because I think that's what we all want to hear and listen to. So here we go. David Crosby and Friends doing Laughing from If I Can Only Remember My Name. Okay.
I thought I met a man who said he knew a man who knew what was going on. I was mistaken. Of a shadow that I saw. in the sun.
Absolutely beautiful. And I have so much to say. I'm sorry. Maybe I won't have enough time to say it all, and perhaps I need to play another song off the album, and I can finish off saying everything I want to say. But we'll have a bash. I'll try and keep it short and sharp, though. This is simply gorgeous. It is. Let's talk about the song first of all. Um, I have in front of me this that I showed you earlier on. This is, I think it's the 2006 CD remaster. It has a remaster CD, and then it has a high fidelity DVD. I don't know what they call them, but even better quality sound. So there's two discs there. I hardly ever play the second one. I'm scared to touch it on my system. But it has a really nice booklet inside, and it copies the artwork from the album, which I had for many years. I don't know what I did with it, but I bought this beforehand. But it has lots of notes. It has comments from David. It has comments from Stephen Barncard, who was the engineer and mixer. Well, he recorded everything and mixed everything, and David had met him. I think he was a backup engineer to Bill Halverson on Deja Vu. And Stephen Barncard had just finished doing American Beauty with Grateful Dead. And David wanted him just to come into the studio with him and record everything. Always have a tape running. That was the plan, because you never know what kind of lucky accidents will happen. And this album is just full of lucky accidents. Playing on this song is David on guitar and vocals, and then three members of the Grateful Dead. There's the incredible Jerry Garcia on pedal steel guitar. There's Phil Lesh on bass, channeling his inner Chris Squire. If you listen to that, it's absolutely marvelous. Bill Kreutzmann on drums. And on backing vocals are the imperious Graham Nash and Joni Mitchell. Old Joni there with her old flame David, although not so much. I mean, David always Um, always fancied Joni, and of course he produced her debut album. But Joni didn't really fancy David so much. Of course, she had a tempestuous relationship with Graham Nash, um, but I think it was over by the time this was recorded. But anyway, you can hear Joni Mitchell's voice in those beautiful backing vocals, particularly towards the end. They come through on the left ear so beautifully. I don't know if there are any more guitarists playing, or else Jerry's also playing acoustic guitar as well. It's a very full acoustic sound, and I can't find any information that says there were other people playing on this particular track. So maybe Jerry's augmenting with some acoustic as well. But David says that the song was written to and for George Harrison. He was giving George a little bit of advice about the Maharishi, and we all know who the Maharishi was. George was following his teachings very closely around the late 60s, wasn't he? And Stephen says that he's trying to tell George that nobody has an answer, and particularly all of these guys who say that they have the answer. They don't really. There's no quick fix. There's no external fix. You have to look into yourself to find out the answer to leading a better life, to leading a more spiritual life. He also says that Maharishi wasn't the worst of these yogis, these people who said that they had the answer to the meaning of life. He wasn't the worst. There were many worse than him. But if you want to look for an answer externally, go and look at children. They understand what it's like to enjoy life. And he references that in the last verse. It was only a child laughing, and that is the key. I don't know how qualified David was. I mean, I better not say, but yeah. I better not say any more. Just stop there, Richard. But it's a lovely song. And of course, David was, they'd finished Deja Vu. He had a lot of spare time, and he was still trying to get over the terrible accident that happened to Christine, his girlfriend. The day that Crosby, Stills and Nash, the debut album, turned gold, she took David's car to take her two cats to the vet, and had a car accident. Of course, one of the cats jumped into her lap and spooked her, and she drove into a school bus and was instantly killed. And Graham Nash always said that a part of David died that day with Christine. And of course, he did sort of spiral into more serious drug use than he had been doing at that time. And he wanted to go into the studio and, again, as Graham says, see how much of his soul has been taken away. It's very sad, but he went into the studio to see what he could do, and with the help of loads of members from the Grateful Dead, from Santana, from Jefferson Airplane, from Joni and Graham and Neil Young, he made quite the most beautiful album. Quite a few of the songs have no words. They're just, it's just scat, it's just humming and la-lying. What's the technical term? It's not a cappella, because you sing with words for that, don't you? But It's just beautiful noises coming from people's mouths, as well as some beautiful playing as well. Um, then the final two tracks are just David on his own, and um, he's um, singing unaccompanied and singing just with the guitar, and they are quite spooky and weird. Um, but it's as if he's trying to reach out for his dead girlfriend. It's very moving. It's a lovely album. It really is, and it kind of gives a. It tells the story of a community of musicians down in San Francisco in the late 60s, turning into the 70s, who were there for each other, who would help each other, who would turn up to offer whatever support they could offer. And there was no competitiveness. There was no my band is better than your band or anything like that. And it's something that I guess kind of fell away as time went by. Um, but this is a wonderful example of it at its best, everything working at its best. It's an absolutely gorgeous album. It's in my top 10 of all time. Funnily enough, two Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young artists are in my top 10 of all time. Stephen Stills' debut album is the other one that's in my top 10 of all time albums. I remember going down to London with one of my best friends from the Midlands. We it was we had a that's right, it was a Saturday. We said, let's go to London for the day. So we caught a train down to London and we spent the day in London sightseeing. And of course, we visited record stores and I bought this album down in London. Um, Again, I hadn't heard any of it, but I just knew I loved CSN&Y and I just wanted to have it in my collection. It was a bonus that was so good, and it just gets better and better. And the reviews were the same. The usual suspects gave it a panning. Lester Bangs said it was sloppy, and the guys didn't know how to play their instruments. And the Rolling Stone guy, he gave it a D minus or something. He said it was awful. Everybody's opinion changed over time, and it's now considered one of the classics, one of the classic albums, one of the best albums ever made. But not everybody has heard it. It's really a cult classic, and so I hope that a few people click on and watch this one. I checked on YouTube to see how many people have reacted to it, and I can see 4, I think. And they're all pretty small channels, much like mine, who are just listening to some nice music. And there's only 2 or 3 or 400 views on each of them, I think. So it is an underappreciated on YouTube song. So I'm happy to put it on to our channel. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please, in the comments below, tell me what you think of David's album. What did you think of David in his career? He was controversial, but he made beautiful music. And when he was with the right partners and collaborators, it got even better. And I think this is a prime example of that. So let me know what you think. And thank you for watching the video today. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We've got 180 songs on playlists linked below. Take a look and see if there's anything there that you like. And listen. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for spending the time with me. I do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, which will probably be out tomorrow. But until then, cheers, everybody.